Hey everybody, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for Badger's Picks, which means it's also the first Badger's Picks for the month of May. Let's see who's free this week and which four I'm going to recommend. For the week, it looks like we'll be seeing Draven and Galio, Jarvan, Callista, Katarina, Nocturne, Rise, Shen, Taric, and Thresh. As for my first recommendation for the week, gonna throw it over to Thresh. I'm a big fan of Thresh. I think that's probably been stated in a few videos. That's obvious. I honestly believe, and I don't actually truly believe this, but Thresh, without any damage on his kit, would still be an incredibly valuable champion because of everything he does. He's just so good with utility if you're really good at landing and using all of it successfully. Underrated, in my opinion, although we know a lot of people play him. He never really generates lots of bans in LCS or anything like that. But overall, he's just such a good champion. I can't emphasize this enough. If you want somebody who can be played in a few different ways, but amazingly overall, man, Thresh is where it's at as a support. My next recommendation for this week, gonna give that one over to Nocturne. Now, Nocturne has not actually seen as much play with the tank meta as I thought he would. I think that's because honestly, you could build any of the jungle enchantments on him except for obviously the AP one. That's the only one you wouldn't want. But you could build the other three justifiably in different scenarios. So I think people really got confused at what they should maybe be building on Nocturne. I think people should be trying Cinder Hulk on him and doing the tank Nocturne, picking up maybe one damage item, and then just pretty much beefing out because he lives really a long time in team fights and he's good at diving the back line. So I really think Nocturne's a little underutilized right now. I think he's underappreciated. Try him out. My next recommendation is for Rise. Now, Rise did just go through his rework, and as much as I actually haven't had a chance to play it myself yet because I've been lollygagging on that, I've seen people play it against teams I've been on, and it seems very good right now. I don't know if everybody just kind of forgot that Rise was a good champion. I know small little nerfs to him and just shift in meta kind of made him fall out of favor, but he was never really like super weak. But maybe he'll come back with the new update. He seems pretty good. I think people should try him out. And as for my final recommendation for the week, I'm going to throw that one over to Shen. Once again, Shen did receive a small little buff in the last patch that actually I think is quite good with the whole when you come in to protect someone, you are going to be between them and the enemies, which is really helpful for him to get exactly into where he needs to be for position. It also kind of put him a handful of range ahead of where he used to be, making his taunt a lot easier to land. So it's actually a pretty significant buff. Also, current meta says tanks are in. Guess what he is? A tank. And he always seems to farm and do fairly well in lane. Now, if you transition that over to and make sure that you have damage on your team, he should tank out the game really well. So I think Shen's really underestimated too right now. Definitely try him out. But those are the champions that are going to be free this week. Please let me know down in the comments which four champions you might want to try out. I really did want to recommend Draven and Katarina. I like both of them. If I had one little thing to pick at this week is Callista. I know she's a goodish champion, but the problem is tank meta just kind of destroys her in case you don't know. Callistas typically aren't building any crit because they're building Bloodthirsters and Hurricanes. That's all on hit and just raw damage, and she's just hoping her Ren damage. But on a tanky Scion, you're never going to ever kill that. You're going to have to auto him 50 times to kill him because he's going to have 5,000 health. So without crit, she just doesn't get through tanks, so I would stay away from Callista, a little fun fact. Anything else, though, looking pretty decent. If there's a box around any of these champions, that means you can click on it. It will take you to a build or a quick build for the champion. But other than that, good luck this week on the Fields of Justice.